Good day. My name is Kevin Smith, and I'm the President and CEO of the University Health Network. And I am so glad to welcome you to the virtual ride for Rehab. This is our first year under this banner, so you're the inaugural riders, and we are so grateful for you for taking part. As you know, this is going to directly contribute to so many patients who need rehabilitation, and as importantly, contribute to research and education for those who will be taking part in changing the course of rehab for the future. I want to say again a very sincere thank you from all of us at UHN, and now pass it over to Mike Zigomanis.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, and welcome to all you participants for joining the virtual ride for Rehab. I'm Mike Zigomanis, former Toronto Maple Leaf, current host of Fan 590, and Healthy Living Advocate. 1 in 2 Canadians will be touched by disability either personally or someone in their family. From personal experience, I've dealt with multiple injuries, surgeries, and rehab has helped me get back on my feet as quick as possible. You'll hear a firsthand account of some of the grateful patients that have gone through just a few of the Toronto rehab programs.
I'm Lara Kaufman. I was a full-time working supermom.
I'm Emily Schmidt. I had just retired from Bank of Montreal, and I was so looking forward to doing all the things that I never had time to do.
I'm Piklu Datta. Everyone calls me Pick. I love to travel, and I love to spend time with my friends.
I'm Stephanie McLeod. I had just secured my dream job teaching kids with autism. I had bought a house, which was very exciting. In 2015, I was driving to work and an oncoming vehicle veered into my lane and hit me head on. I broke a total of 15 bones, both legs, my back, my neck, both my arms, all of my ribs. I was on life support and in a coma for multiple days after my accident. I underwent a long, very severe surgery. They actually had told my parents at the time that I wasn't going to make it and it was best for them to say their goodbyes. I knew that I had to fight to see my parents and tell them that I loved them at least one last time. And so that was my power.
In August 2018, I was attending a Blue Jays game. I was feeling very tired and I fell to the ground and experienced a stroke. My left arm and my left leg were paralyzed. Could not move them, no functionality whatsoever. And the left side of my face was drooped. I was in shock. I was very scared, extremely scared.
In 2016, I retired and spent the first month of retirement down in California. And that's when a little bit of niggling back pain started. It turned out to be a tumor on my spinal cord. And that's when they said, if we don't operate right away, you'll never walk again.
On February 13th, 2010, I went skiing with my family. The ski pole got stuck under my ski and I yanked it up, but instead of pulling straight up, I actually hit my neck. And in doing so, I dissected my carotid artery, which caused a blood clot, which then caused a massive stroke. All I could think about was that I don't want to die. I had 3 young kids. I don't want to leave my children without a mother. When I entered Toronto Rehab, I was completely paralyzed on the left side of my body.
They called it incomplete paraplegia.
I had zero independence.
I was still in a state of shock, probably for the first 2 weeks, and I was very depressed.
I couldn't sit in a chair because I fell over because I had no trunk support whatsoever on the left side of my body.
I knew that I would have to relearn how to walk.
I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't take a drink of water.
I knew that I wanted to be as independent as possible. And my objective was to walk with as few aids as possible.
I'm going to be a vegetable sitting in my condominium all day, and someone's going to have to take care of me. and that scared the hell out of me.
Every day you are given physiotherapy, occupational therapy.
They gave me instructions of things to do.
To start moving, trying to move my arm, trying to move my leg, to talk, to be positive.
It was the hardest work of anything I've ever done in my life, but it was exhilarating, in addition to exhausting and exasperating.
I always wanted to go in there and work harder than I've ever worked before.
The therapists work with me every day to regain my strength in all parts of my body, my trunk, my arm, my leg.
The doctors, the nurses, the therapists were so kind and so positive and building confidence in me.
All of the staff are incredibly invested in helping me become as independent as possible.
I really, really wanted to get my independence back. What worked for me during my rehab journey was watch me do it attitude.
After the first 3 weeks, I was revived and I was rejuvenated and motivated. I have to recover.
They're in this with you. The rehab therapists are in this with their patients, and they are dedicated.
Everybody was so invested in helping me.
I was ready to go. I was ready to go 100%, 110% full throttle.
Oh, it's really good, Pix. You're moving, man.
I took my first steps about 4 weeks after I got there.
That's one of my favorite days in my entire life, is the day that I walked again.
I am walking either on my own or using a cane or using poles, depending on where I am.
I have a new view on life. I have retired. I've been golfing every second day. I played some tennis. So I'm back into all my favorite sports.
Walking again meant everything to me. It meant that I got my life back.
I am so grateful to Toronto Rehab.
They've moved mountains there.
I would just want them to know the difference they make in so many people's lives.
I call them angels.
The hospitals will help save your life, but Toronto Rehab gives you your life back.
Wow. It is clear incredible things happen at Toronto Rehab. Thank you, Stephanie, Laura, Emily, and Piklu for sharing your stories and inspiring us all. It is clear the success of this event is tied to BMO's support. I'd like to introduce Cam Fowler, Chief Strategy and Operations Officer at BMO Financial Group.
Thank you, Mike, and hello, everyone. I'm Cameron Fowler, and I'm excited to join Team BMO in support of Toronto Rehab and the critical work that you do as the world's leading research rehab center. BMO has a long history of supporting Toronto Rehab Foundation. We're proud to continue the partnership under the leadership of Barbara Muir. Starting today and continuing over the next week, every rider will support the overall goal of covering 8,000 kilometers, coast to coast, as measured by the Trans-Canada Highway. I want to thank everyone for joining, and let's go Team BMO.
Thank you, Cam, and thank you, BMO. This ride has raised over $1 million in its 5 years. Although this year is virtual, I wanted to share with you all what this ride has looked like in the past. Well, I sure am pumped. My goal is to generate over 300 kilometers this week. Join me and have a great week.